Good evening, everyone, and thanks for watching. I'm Katie Moore. The track for the tropical storm is becoming clearer tonight, and Louisiana is definitely in the storm's path. We're also getting a better idea of how strong Francine could get before making landfall. That is expected to happen on Wednesday. WWL Chief Meteorologist Chris Franklin begins our coverage tonight. Chris?
Steadily with the storm all day today was what had been a more unorganized area of thunderstorms. You saw those bright, intense cloud tops, but nothing really seemingly organized. What we've started to see over the last several hours is a little bit more organization. Not necessarily a bad thing, because that does mean the computer models, as it does become a little bit easier to forecast, will start to narrow in on a particular part, likely of the Louisiana coastline. And I would venture to say we may not see too many more dramatic changes. Certainly some changes as it is getting better organized, but certainly as we head into tomorrow, we will have a far better idea of its future. What we're seeing right now is what again had been just a mob of thunderstorms becoming a little bit more organized. And also something interesting is that it looks like it kind of reformed a bit, the center, which had been struggling, a little bit more to the west. That for us is a good thing. We're starting to see almost out of the Brownsville radar kind of a clear, not necessarily eye, but kind of a wall starting to take shape. So that would indicate some strengthening and organization of the storm. The anticipated northeasterly motion is expected during the day tomorrow. Once that is locked in, we'll have a far better idea of where the storm will make landfall. And something to note from the earlier advisory at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. was that we did see a shift a little bit more to the west, but we also saw an increase in the strength to a Category 2 at landfall. That really isn't a big surprise, as most of the models were indicating that potential, and we were certainly on the high end of a Category 1 at landfall Wednesday afternoon. Something to keep in mind, though, that with the Hurricane Center shift, it wasn't as dramatic as the computer models are indicating. Notice the consensus of most of the models are on the far western end of the forecasted cone, so it's possible when we get a new update, we'll get new models before 10 o'clock. If that continues, we might see the shift in the cone continue to the west, and again, which would be better for us. As far as the impacts go for us, no major changes in the thinking. We'll talk more about those in a few minutes.
Okay, we have a lot to get to. Thank you, Chris.